A long time ago, the state of Texas was being fought over by both Spain and the local Native American tribes, including the Apache. As part of their effort to colonize the New World, the Spanish built many missions where priests would live while they preached to the local Native American population. One mission that was built for this purpose was the San Saba mission that was near a fort. The priests didn't want to be too near the fort because they thought the soldiers would bother the Apache that the priests were preaching to. This ended up being a huge mistake. When the mission was first built, no one showed up to learn from the priests. This was really surprising to the priests because they only built the mission because the Apache had asked them to. After 2 months, people started to show up, 3,000 of them. The priests were excited to teach so many people, but the Apaches said it was hunting season and they had to move on, but left their sick and wounded with the priests. Several times the Apache came back and did the same thing, leave the sick and then go somewhere else. 3 priests thought that something was wrong, so they left. The priests and soldiers had been warned that there might be trouble with the Apache, so they prepared for it. Strangely, the attack never happened. As summer turned to fall to winter, the soldiers started to relax, and then the first problem occurred. Almost all of the soldiers' livestock died during the unusually cold weather for Texas. The Apache rarely visited and then disappeared. Spring 1758, some Native Americans attacked the San Saba mission and stole 59 horses. The soldiers tried to get those horses back and chased the Native Americans, but found out they were outnumbered. Not wanting to die, the soldiers ran away and told the priests to come with them to the fort. The priests weren't fast enough, and 2,000 Native Americans from different tribes attacked the mission and burnt it to the ground. None of the attackers were Apache, but instead were the enemies of the Apache, the Comanche. That night, a few people who survived and were hiding escaped and went to the fort. The mission was never rebuilt. In an attempt to get revenge, the Spaniards sent soldiers into Comanche territory to try and punish the tribe for what they did. They had some success, but eventually the Spanish were driven away. The Comanche ruled a huge part of Texas, and the Spanish didn't have the soldiers to stop them. In fact, the fighting was so bad that the Spanish were barely able to keep the forts and missions they had safe. After 60 years, Spain tried something different. They let Mexicans and Anglo-Americans build their own cities all around Texas. The idea was to use these other villages as what's called a buffer between the Spanish and the Comanche. That way, if the Comanche were going to attack anyone, they'd attack the other people before the Spanish because those other people were closer.